The dual smart plumb cylinder and Samsung air source heat pump package is designed and pre-assembled by Joule prior to arriving on your site. The smart plumb cylinder is designed and manufactured exclusively by Joule. The compact design and integrated buffer tank make this cylinder buffer package the smartest heat pump package available. By using the smart plumb cylinder, the heat pump's efficiency is increased and common problems and issues are removed. No other hot water cylinder and buffer combination on the market has such a small footprint as is straightforward to install. With the wiring centre mounted front and centre, all the cables from the pumps and valves travel up the body under the sleek cable cover. The heat pump is normally mounted outside with 300mm clearance off a wall and at least 2 meters clearance in front of it. This is to allow for adequate air circulation around the unit. To start the commissioning process, you must first check to ensure that the dip switches on the indoor control panel are in the correct place. Remove the controller from its back box as shown and check that dip switch number 1 and 5 are in the opposite positions to the other dip switches as shown here. Number 1 starts at the top and ends in 8 at the bottom. You must now power on the isolator switches for both the indoor controller and the outdoor unit. The controller will go through its ignition sequence as shown here. You now need to check the electrical components to ensure that all valves are operating correctly. Press and hold the blue set button along with the test button for 6 seconds. Test and heat will now flash on the screen. Firstly, press the power button on the top left. This should energize the primary circulation pump between the heat pump and the cylinder. When this is energized, it is good to check the flow meter to ensure you are getting a flow rate of over 16 litres per minute. If you are not, the heat pump will not run after it is being commissioned. Once this has been confirmed, simply press the button again and the pump will turn off. Next, check the zone valve controlling the hot water cylinder coil. Press the lock button as shown here. The following symbol will appear. Check the head on the respective zone valve to ensure that it is in fact open, and once confirmed, press the lock button once again to shut it off. The buffer vessel or heating system valve is next to be checked. Using the button shown here, follow the same procedure as you did with the hot water zone valve. It is important to note that the valve in this case is open by default, so by checking it, the valve will close. After you have confirmed the valve is now closed, reset it back to its normal position as shown here. The immersion should now be checked. Follow the same steps using the button shown and ensure that power is going to the immersion when the setting is activated. Once these checks are complete, you now need to exit the test section of the controller. Press Cancel Delete for 6 seconds and the controller will return to the main menu. Now the commission setting must be entered. To do this, you need to press and hold the test button for approximately 6 seconds. Number 10 will appear on the screen when you are in the menu. To navigate through the menus, use the up and down buttons as shown here. You will use the Set button to confirm a setting and the Cancel Delete button to exit a menu. The first setting is the backlight duration on the controller screen. To help see the screen, we recommend that this is set to 30. Follow these steps and ensure that it is actually set correctly. As you can see, there is a primary menu and a sub-menu. To move from a primary menu to a sub-menu, you press Set. To move from a sub-menu to a primary menu, you press Cancel Delete. Next, change the calculated minimum outside air temperature for the heating curve. For the UK and Ireland, we recommend this is set to -4 degrees Celsius. Next, change the calculated maximum outside air temperature for the heating curve. For the UK and Ireland, we recommend this is set to plus 15 degrees Celsius. This setting is the maximum flow temperature for your primary heating zone. You should refer to your design to check what the heat emitters you are using are designed for, but a rule of thumb would be underfloor heating should be 40 degrees Celsius and correctly sized radiators should be 47 degrees Celsius. This is the minimum temperature for primary heating zone. This tells the controller to expect a run signal from your time clock, such as your underfloor wiring centre or a room stat for radiators. This setting tells the controller that there is a hot water cylinder connected to it. This sets the maximum time the heat pump will try and heat the hot water before it goes back to top up the heating system. For a 200 litre cylinder, set it to 50, and for a 300 litre cylinder, set it to 90. This sets the maximum time the heat pump will work trying to heat the cylinder before it turns the immersion on to help. For a 200 litre cylinder, set it to 30, and for a 300 litre cylinder, set it to 60. The following three menus set out the day, time and temperature of the pasteurization function. This protects the system from Legionnaires. We recommend you set them to what is shown on the screen. The commissioning is not complete. Press Cancel Delete to return to the main menu.